And they certainly have the talent for a deep run this year. Mike Krzyzewski is hoping to win his 14th ACC tournament. If he does it, he'll break a tie with Dean Smith for the most ever. The Irish had been going with the mustard yellow jerseys for a while. Last night, they didn't have the choice because Florida State was the higher seed. They went gold, so Notre Dame had to go green instead of mustard yellow. But because they won last night, the seniors, the captains, get to decide what they're wearing, and they're going green again tonight.
There, Dan, I used to have a coach that said, having fun is doing hard things well. And if you want to win this ACC tournament championship, you're going to have a lot of fun out there, because winning this means you're going to have to do a lot of hard things well.
Mike Eads, Roger Ayers, Ted Valentine, the officials, and we're underway with the Blue Devils controlling the tip.
Notre Dame starts the game in man-to-man. And Steve Astoria starting out on Luke Kennard, who's averaging over 20 points a game in this tournament.
Tatum guarded by V.J. Beacham, and he scores over him. About a month ago, Mike Bray went to a smaller lineup, and that means Beacham, who's really a perimeter player, he's giving up a little strength and size in that matchup with Tatum.
But he's got great length, and he's an outstanding athlete. But Jason Tatum just took V.J. Beacham right down into the post, and that little fadeaway jumper, you don't see many guys shoot that.
Bonzi Colson a little bit strong, and the rebound down to Emil Jefferson.
Colson is going to have a great game for Notre Dame to win this. Last year he had 31 points, 11 rebounds, 8 of them offensive in Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Kennard off a screen, and a good start for Duke. A couple of buckets in the first minute.
Kennard so good coming off those baseline screens. He can curl it and make that little shot, and if you decide you're going to cheat over the top, he can fade into the corner for a wide open three.
Kennard has done almost all of his damage in this tournament in the second half of each game. Remember, for Notre Dame, this is their third game in as many nights. For Duke, as Allison mentioned, this is their fourth game in as many nights. They didn't get the double bye. Matt Farrell will get it to go in, and he has played his best basketball in this building over the last couple of years.
He is quick and he is strong. Now Notre Dame going back into a little 1-2-2 half-court zone. They'll play a little 2-3, and they play this 1-2-2 as well. It's how you call it 3-2. It's an odd man front. Duke will put 3 along the baseline. They call this attack 3 deep.
Both teams very good offensively, and both teams really respect the offensive ability of the other team. In and out for Kennard, and the rebound down to Vastoria. Notre Dame not a great rebounding team. Now Duke is not Carolina on the glass, but their numbers on the glass are better than Notre Dame's. The Irish will have to hold their own on the glass tonight against Duke.
Duke a little bit more athletic. The free throw line is going to be a big key. Can Notre Dame keep Duke off the line? Well, it's amazing how many free throws the last 2 games Duke has shot. 68 free throw attempts against Louisville and then North Carolina.
Jefferson, good position, left hand, got it.
So quick when he gets the ball in the post. He's not going to anchor himself in the post and have a fight with you for low post position. He's going to get into the post off the move. Good screen by Vastoria. Now he gets a screen.
And he runs into the back of his teammate Beacham.
This is an excellent passing team that Notre Dame has.
Line drive jumper will not stay down for Vastoria.
And Notre Dame, they can get hot. They score their points in bunches. Oftentimes they'll get off to a slow start, but all they need to do is see the ball go through the hoop a couple of times, and they're a totally different offensive team.
Kennard a half step on Pfluger. Good help by Colson.
Pfluger's a physical, strong defensive player.
Jefferson again.
He looks totally different than he did 2-3 weeks ago. Quicker, faster, a little more bounce, and that's after playing 3 games in 3 days.
Yep. At the beginning of the year, the freshman class, or most of it, was injured. Then Jefferson got hurt just as they were getting healthy. Allen hurt his ankle, but in many respects, this is the healthiest and the most complete Duke has been all season. Short. Jefferson must have gotten a piece of that.
Notre Dame's got to get their offense off the pass. They're not going to do it just off the dribble.
Mismatch here. Jefferson covered by Farrell, kicks to the corner. Jones misses the 3, and Jefferson over the back for the offensive, for the foul on the rebound. And Mike Krzyzewski not fond of that call.
Well, Matt Farrell was trying to block out Emil Jefferson. And you can go over the top. You just can't climb a guy's back. And I'm not sure that Jefferson climbed his back. It was just a really good job of competing on the glass by Matt Farrell. And that young man competes on every play. You never see him take a play off.
Farrell from Bridgewater, New Jersey. Colson into a double team. Can't finish it, and back come the Blue Devils. Notre Dame just 2 points, better than 4 minutes into the game, not looking in sync at the offensive end.
That was excellent help there by Luke Kennard. Jefferson tried to cheat for the steal, and Kennard was right there to bother Colson.
Jefferson no, Colson the rebound. He's the ACC's leading rebounder and a first-team All-ACC performer, as Kennard is on the other side. And Colson can shoot it too, and knocks down the three. He can hurt you inside, he can hurt you outside.
And putting Bonzie Colson into some ball screen situations on the offensive end where he can pick and pop or roll to the basket may be in Notre Dame's best interest on the offensive end. Notre Dame back to man-to-man. Mike Brey is going to give Duke a lot of different looks.
What have we had? One whistle in better than 5 minutes? Jackson will drive and get it to go. Frank Jackson really coming into his own. 16 points per game over his last 6.
They had 15 points and 5 rebounds against North Carolina. He's so dynamic off the dribble. With Grayson Allen coming into the ball game now with Harry Giles. With those 4 on the floor, you can really spread the court.
Speaking of spreading the court, V.J. Beacham can get hot in a hurry. The senior from Fort Wayne, 38% from beyond the arc on the season.
And now all of a sudden Notre Dame's hit a couple, and they can use a shot fake or a ball fake. Then it's going to open up some driving opportunities.
Kennard gets Vastoria in the air, can't get it to go down, and Pfluger down with a rebound.
But Vastoria really recovered well after he got beat on that shot fake.
Pfluger driving, pull up at the free throw line. And not a lot of second opportunities, nor do we expect there to be a lot of second opportunities for the Irish.
Well, especially after take a shot off no passes. And Rex Pfluger can make that, but he would have been better off getting a little more offense.
Tatum fouled by Beacham. Just the second whistle of the game to take us to immediate timeout.
Well, Emil Jefferson for Duke off to a really good start on the offensive end, attacking Bonzie Colson, making him close out, getting the angle. And then the dynamic freshman from Utah, Frank Jackson. What a player.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life. With the right guidance, everyone can be good at life.
Mike Brey has really had an extraordinary journey through the game. He played basketball at DeMatha in high school for the legendary Morgan Wooten. Then he was a teacher there, a high school teacher, and coached under Morgan Wooten, who's one of the great coaches of all time, and then took a job as an assistant coach under Mike Krzyzewski at Duke. He's had some pretty darn good training in the game.
And the last non-Duke player to be a Duke assistant under Mike Krzyzewski?
Yes,
right?
He is actually probably, you could say, the last assistant coach under Mike Krzyzewski to actually call him Mike. Everyone else calls him Coach K.
Allison has more.
Guys, just like Coach Krzyzewski has built this Duke program around players that have come through the culture and played at Duke, Mike Brey kind of took a page out of that book as well. When he had to replace 2 assistant coaches this year, he hired former players Ryan Humphrey and Ryan Ayers, and he also brought back Eric Atkins to be the video coordinator. So his staff now features 4 former players for Notre Dame, and he said that's something he learned from Coach K. He said, I always loved that he did that he brings the former players back. It helps really build a culture and an identity of a program, and he said it helped his team. He said having those guys having played here, they didn't miss a beat.
Allison, good stuff. Thank you. And good stuff for Duke right now as well, as Kennard gets fouled and knocks down a three-pointer.
Well, a similar thing happened in the game against North Carolina in the opposite corner. Terrific job by Grayson Allen, who seems to be the guy that finds Kennard for these open shots more than anyone, with his ability to drive it, keeps his dribble. And when you foul Luke Kennard, he not only makes the shot, he makes his free throw and turns it into a 4-point play. Those are game-breaking type plays.
And Kennard now with 6 in the first half. We mentioned how good he's been in the second half of games. He comes into this game having scored 64 points in 3 games, 50 of them in the second halves of those games. But he's off to a good start here tonight. Now he's trying to deal with Bonzie Colson, who muscles it up and in.
Got a switch. Luke Kennard wound up on Bonzie Colson. Jason Tatum was guarding him. But right now, Bonzie Colson at the 4 spot is guarding Jason Tatum. It'll be interesting to see if Duke goes right to Tatum and see if they can pick up a foul on Colson.
Vastoria with a steal and a lay-in, and Notre Dame back within 4.
Boy, what a great play by Steve Vastoria, the best defender on this Notre Dame team. And Mike Brey says this is his best defensive team since he's been at Notre Dame.
Martinez Gebben in off the bench, a former starter. He was the starter before Mike Brey went with a smaller lineup about a month ago, and Pfluger moved into the starting lineup. Tatum for 3, and Gebben holds off Harry Giles for the rebound.
A good rebound by Martinez Gebben.
Notre Dame, one of the best passing teams in the country. Only UCLA has a better assist to turnover ratio in the country than the Irish do. Gebben hustling for the offensive rebound.
Well, Harry Giles is right there to get it.
Ooh, Gebben, a big-time screen as well on Grayson Allen. It will stay with the Irish as we go to break.
Bonzie Colson is so difficult to match up with. All ACC first team. Top 10 in scoring, leading the league in rebounding. You get a little guy on him, he's going to take him down to the post. Big guy on him, he takes him out on the perimeter. Vastoria, what a steal to take the other way to kiss off the glass. Great start.
From beyond the arc. It goes back over to Duke.
On the out of bounds underneath, Duke was switching everything, and Vastoria was wide open, just wide open from deep. He could have actually taken one dribble in. He had so much time.
Vastoria on Kennard. Good matchup there. Allen off a screen. Gets free for a shot over Gibbs. Misses the 3, and it's out of bounds to the Blue Devils with a fresh 30.
Right now, Harry Giles and Emil Jefferson down on the low blocks, operating as screeners for Luke Kennard and Grayson Allen to work off of.
Giles, one of his best games for Duke. In the semifinal last night, he had 6 points, 7 rebounds, 4 blocks in 15 minutes.
He was great. The 15 minutes, he was very productive in that time, but for him to play 15 minutes was a huge lift for Duke. And Notre Dame going 2-3 zone out of the out of bounds under. They got hurt badly on out of bounds plays at Notre Dame in the meeting earlier this year.
Allen, no. He made 5 threes last night against Carolina, but Harry Giles cleaning up on the glass.
How about that rebound? Now, Harry Giles in high school was a big-time rebounder. He was compared a lot to Chris Webber in his ability level. And you could see there a flash of what Harry Giles had been and will be again as long as he remains healthy.
Farrell gets the switch. This is T.J. Gibbs, a freshman, part of a basketball playing family. 2 older brothers played collegiately, as now it's stolen away from Colson.
Great play by Matt Jones.
Nice dish from Allen to Giles.
Just a different vibe with Harry Giles since this tournament began. Different look on his face and different impact on the game.
And Duke out to an 8-point lead as we near the midway point of the first half. Notre Dame not afraid to be deliberate and use the clock on offense. It's down to 5 now. Farrell will knock down a 3.
Well, Gebben was able to set a screen. He's not being guarded at all by Harry Giles, who's basically just been a goalie in the middle protecting the rim. And that allowed Matt Farrell to come off and pull the trigger.
Notre Dame, the 3 seed. They went 12-6 in league play. Duke, the 5 seed. They went 11-7 in the ACC during the regular season.
Harry Giles is 6'10", but he really climbed the ladder for this rebound and then goes back up in a crowd, gets it to go off the glass. Just a big-time rebound. And then Gebben helps up, and Grayson Allen just throws it right to the rim for Giles to slam through. Really good minutes for Harry Giles thus far in this game. In the last 2 games, he's been a totally different presence. Back to the 2-3 zone on the out of bounds underneath. Jason Tatum in the middle. He can really operate in there.
Takes a bullet pass out to Kennard. And Tatum is there to finish it up.
I don't think he wanted to let Harry Giles have all the fun on the glass. Holy cow.
Rifled a pass out to the perimeter, went right to the rim and slammed home the rebound. Duke fans getting loud here in Brooklyn right now. Beacham stumbles, keeps his dribble alive. Tatum picks his pocket. And Beacham called for the foul.
Beacham turned around and showed the ball, had it in his left hand away from his body. And Jason Tatum just reached right around from behind him to knock that away. What a putback by Jason Tatum.
Mike Gray not liking what he's seeing. Timeout on the floor. Blue Devils up 7.
His head was by the rim.
You to see all of the lights.
Gatorade bars. Never let hunger get in the way of your game.
Coming up tomorrow, it's Selection Sunday, and it's 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Bracketology presented by Allstate. Reese, J. Will, Jay Phillips, Coach Seth, Dickie V, and all kinds of college hoop experts. They're going to break down what the tournament selection committee has decided. Who's in, who's out, who's seated where, who are the ones and twos. Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt starts us off at 5:15 with the reveal of the NCAA men's field of 68 as the teams are announced. You said to me earlier today, one team, maybe I should have cleared this with you during break, one team you're really interested to see where they are is Wichita State.
I think if Wichita State is seated where their resume traditionally would suggest, around 8, I think that would be a huge mistake. Wichita State is a 4, maybe a 5 seed at worst. That is a top 20 team in America. And if the committee puts them as an 8 or a 9, that is going to be bad news for whatever 1 seed is in that bracket.
Speaking of 1 seeds, in your mind, are the 4 of them locked? Or does the outcome of this game, if Duke were to win, or potentially the outcome of the Pac-12 championship game after us tonight, do you think any of those, either of tonight's winners, could displace somebody as a number 1 seed?
I think it's possible. I think Oregon could have, before the injury to Chris Boucher, he's out for the year with an ACL, and it's extraordinarily sad, not just for Chris Boucher, but for Oregon in the Pac-12. I thought Oregon could be able to sneak up there, and it's possible. It's even possible that Duke could do it. And Duke has won more games against the top 50 and the top 25 than anyone else, and that's not even factoring in the injuries that they had earlier in the season, and Mike Krzyzewski being out for, what was it, 7, 8 games, whatever it was. It was an extended period of time. And the team that they are now, that's a 1 seed. That looks like a 1 seed. But I think traditionally, you're going to see the teams that are there now, in all likelihood, are going to stay there, and you'll see Duke as a 2 seed.
8 minutes to go first half. Duke by 6. Farrell misses the 3. Jones the rebound for the Blue Devils.
Duke does a really good job of guarding the three-point line. Great fake by Allen.
Gets inside and a chance for 3.
Such good shooters, and when you can shoot the ball, all you have to do is give a good shot fake or a ball fake, and the defense is going to react. That opened up the lane, and Grayson Allen able to get all the way. And now the free throw line becoming a weapon for Duke. 68 free throw attempts in the last 2 games against Louisville and North Carolina. That's a lot.
Blue Devil and Leprechaun before the game. Unfortunately for the Ducks, they have a wounded Duck right now. You mentioned Chris Boucher. This is a significant loss. A torn ACL, obviously out for the season. One of the game's better shot blockers. So Oregon and Arizona for the Pac-12 championship game right after us tonight here on ESPN. And again, potentially a 1 seed in play. Who knows? But maybe more important than that is whoever wins that game, you figure, stays west. And whoever loses probably has to go to another region.
Just a huge loss to lose Chris Boucher. Not just his shot blocking ability, but he can help stretch a defense with his ability to hit a 3.
Good D by Jefferson on Bonzi Colson. Colson's hit 1 3. Matt Ryan keeps it alive, and a fresh 30 now for the Irish.
Matt Ryan coming off a game against Florida State in which he had 11 points, hit 3 threes, 6'8", and really deep range. With a switch now, Matt Jones on Colson.
Astoria guarded by Jefferson. 10 to shoot. The Irish have had the ball for almost a minute down here. What a move as Bonzie Colson somehow split through 2 defenders and laid it in.
And he does it by keeping the ball hot. Just such quick feet. Against Florida State, we talked about what a great athlete Bonzie Colson is. You know, his frame doesn't suggest he's a great athlete, but he is one.
6'5", plays a lot of center for the Irish. Led the conference in rebounding, and one of the Wooden late season final 15 candidates for National Player of the Year.
Takes it one way and he rips through high. A lot of players, especially big guys, will take the ball low to the basket. He takes it high, and that way a guard, in that case Emil Jefferson, coming in to help, they're going to help low. The ball goes over them high. And it was an extraordinarily quick move by Bonzie Colson.
Allison Williams with more.
Well, and what you just saw was the Irish executing what Mike Bray had just talked to them about. He said, we're losing our rhythm offensively, so we've got to start going inside, look for Colson, post it up, and to drive opportunities.
And Ryan misses a 3. Colson had a rebound opportunity, couldn't finish. Couple of decent looks for the Irish. And for all the talk about Duke and their three-point shooting ability, and they're a very good three-point shooting team, the Irish made more and shot a higher percentage this year than Duke did. They need threes to go down. Tatum short on his.
Well, Jason Tatum was taking Steve Vastoria into the post and wound up at the three-point line. He should have kept him in the post. That's where he's going to have a huge advantage. Well, Tatum's not been scoring many of his points from the three-point line. They're coming from inside the line. One of the harder players to guard I've seen all year long.
Ryan with a strong drive. Jackson says that Ryan used his left arm to shield him off, but Jackson gets called for the foul.
Yeah, Ryan certainly used his bulk and his strength. Jackson quicker, faster, but he's also a little bit smaller.
Ryan, the sophomore from Cortland Manor, New York. We mentioned the Irish have a number of players from the New York, New Jersey areas, and they played in this building back in November, won the Legends Classic, beat Colorado, beat Northwestern. They played in this building in the NCAA tournament last year, won a couple of games. They've won, I believe, 7 in a row in this building, going back over a number of years as Austin Torres comes in. Colson will get a breather.
Torres came in against Florida State and gave Notre Dame some good minutes. A hustle player, brings some energy.
Pfluger on Allen. Allen gets into the paint. And the rebound down to the Irish. Down by 5. Got a chance to cut into it a little bit further. Farrell, the kick. Pfluger, the drive, the pull-up. Knew he missed it, followed it, but down with the rebound, Tatum.
A good drive, just didn't complete it.
Kennard, the kick. And Pfluger closes out quickly on Tatum, who goes by him and draws the foul.
That's where Jason Tatum can be at his best. That was a really good closeout by Rex Pfluger. He got right up underneath Jason Tatum, but Tatum just drove to his left, had a little bit of an angle. And he's so long and good quickness, got really low to the ground. I don't know whether Torres picked up that foul, but they both hit him.
Yeah, it was on Torres. Tatum has averaged 38 minutes per game in the 3 games here. 4th game in 4 days for Duke. Nobody has ever won 4 games in 4 days to win the ACC tournament. As Colson quickly checks back in, Giles comes in for Duke. Tatum and Kennard are the guys who have played the huge minutes. Tatum's gone 39, 39, 36, and Kennard's gone 39, 38, 39 the last 3 days.
Well, it's incredible to play 4 games in 4 days against this type of competition.
Well, another opportunity here for Duke off the missed free throw, and Kennard takes advantage.
Well, that's how they can really hurt you. A second chance opportunity. Duke doesn't just turn it into a stick back. Oftentimes they will turn that into 3.
Well, Notre Dame was down 5 with the ball, had a couple of good looks, and now it's back to 9. Colson can't get the shot off over Giles, kicks it out to Farrell. Ryan from the baseline, and it's Duke ball, but Jefferson had not reestablished himself in bounds, so it'll go back over to the Irish. Notre Dame missing some shots, Jay, that generally they make.
Yeah, but that last one by Matt Ryan from the short corner. That is not an easy shot, and he is more the type of player that would rather take a three. But most of the shots have been contested. That's one of the tougher shots right there that Notre Dame has taken. But B.J. Beacham, a very good jump shooter, and that's a tough two. Notre Dame's going to make shots. What you don't want to give them is open threes. If they make tough twos, you're going to have to live with it. Back to the zone.
Jefferson, pass deflected. Little touch pass to Giles. Now back to Kennard. Stolen away on the pass, and here come the Irish.
Just too hot. But Grayson Allen's a good passer, isn't he? A little touch pass you talked about.
Two Notre Dame players in the same vicinity. Farrell takes the ball.
Notre Dame hardly ever turns the ball over. For a team that passes as often as they do, they are very sure-handed.
Colson driving. A little Euro step, and he lays it in.
Looked like it was a walk. Might have just been unorthodox, but Bonzie Colson's got a lot of game, and once he gets started, he has given up a ton of size to Harry Giles, but I don't think he's given up any length at all.
I purposely haven't said wingspan all night long, leaving it for you, and you're not taking it. Inside Jefferson.
Bonzie Colson with a little flop. Jefferson never touched him, and he went straight back.
Well, we've said this a couple of times already, but hardly any whistles in this game. There's 2.5 to go in a fast-moving first half. Duke up by 7 in the championship game. Farrell, nice little change of speed. Picked up the acceleration, found some space, and brings the Irish back within 5.
Matt Farrell can run the team with the ball in his hands. He's also good coming off of screens, and he curled that one right into the lane. Really well done by Matt Farrell.
5-point lead for Duke, 2:15 to go in the first half. All ACC-er Bonzie Colson doing what he can to keep Notre Dame in it. Jason Tatum dominating as he has for the last several days.
The sub above difference is grilled. Because if you're making a cheap
All right, Reese, thank you. Notre Dame shooting only 38%, 11 for 29. Duke is at 54%, and that'll go up as Allen knocks down a three. Third three of the game for the Blue Devils.
Really important last 2 minutes of this first half for both teams. And the game can really take a different turn based upon these 2 minutes. And I think that's why Duke called the timeout, to refocus for this last 2 minutes, because they can stretch this lead out, or if Notre Dame gets some stops and some scores, they can make this a much closer ball game.
Giles with his 4th rebound of the game.
Boy, Allen coming into this game, last 2 games, 18 points a game, 7 of 9 from 3-point range. He is really playing well offensively.
Well, if you look at Duke, Giles contributing more than he was a few weeks ago. Allen healthier and contributing more. Tatum getting better by the game. Jefferson healthier than he was a few weeks ago. A lot of things trending up for Duke right now. We have a foul going against the Blue Devils on the block attempt, and it's going to be on Tatum, I believe. Champ Week caps off on ESPN with 2 more championship games tomorrow. It'll be Arkansas and Kentucky for the SEC championship at 1 o'clock Eastern time, and then at 3:15 the American Conference Championship. SMU, the top seed of the conference, taking on Cincinnati. Both games streaming live on the ESPN app and Watch ESPN. Frank Jackson back in.
Well, when you mention Harry Giles, and Duke is a different looking team. This is the most talented roster in the country. And now that it's healthy, it's kind of scary how good this team can be going into the NCAA tournament, how well this team has played over the last 3 games.
Well, and the focus for the coaching staff is don't think big picture. Don't worry about seeding or region or anything like that. Treat every game the rest of the season as if it is a championship game, as if it is an elimination game, because that's the stage of the season they're at. And they feel obviously if you can play 4 games in 4 days at the level they're playing in the NCAA tournament, you get at least 1 day off between games. But They only use really 7 guys. Marquise Bolden will come in from time to time, but it's really a 7-man rotation right now for the Blue Devils. But given how they're all playing, that appears to be enough for them to have a lot of success.
Notre Dame has the possession arrow. So right now, with about 50 seconds left to go, Notre Dame can go 2 for 1, then have the first possession of the next half.
Tough one for Farrell. Colson there to clean it up. Boy, he is opportunistic. You've talked about it a few times in this tournament already. He rebounds out of his area as well as anybody.
Well, he moves his feet, and he's active. And his length and his want to.
And we've got a call against the Blue Devils. Number 2 on Frank Jackson.
Well, not the smartest of plays in that situation by Frank Jackson, but there's the great job by Bonzie Colson to go after the ball. And when you go after a block shot, it opens up the offensive glass. And now this 2 for 1, and it can really be essentially a 3 for 1 because of the arrow to start the second half. So if Notre Dame can get the last shot and go in down perhaps just 1 possession.
They're shooting 38%. Mike Bray's got to be reasonably pleased that they're as close as they are, and they're going to get a little bit closer.
Well, we talked about how important the end of half was. After that timeout that Mike Krzyzewski called with 2 minutes to go, Grayson Allen hit a 3, and it looked like Duke could stretch this thing out, but Notre Dame has responded in a very positive fashion. They've handled the end of half extraordinarily well. Duke has not handled it well. And right now we have a 1-possession basketball game.
What a special talent and unique player Bonzie Colson is. 15 points, 5 rebounds here in the first half for really a 6'5" center. Duke with a chance for a last look. Allen gets it to go. Terrific end-to-end drive by Grayson Allen. And Duke will take a 4-point lead. Shot from above. They're showing our best side from above. Dan Schulman and Jay Billis. Now you can see that it's us. What do you take out of the first 20 minutes tonight?
Duke shot 56% in the first half. Notre Dame shot 39%, and yet the Irish are within 4. Notre Dame's got to get some stops, and they've got to score at a more efficient rate, which they're capable of doing. You have to expect that Notre Dame is going to start hitting a few more shots. Duke defended the 3-point line pretty well. But I think Mike Bray has to be very pleased with the way they closed out the half. We talked about the last 2 minutes, and that was really the difference. In the last 2 minutes, Duke was up 8. Now they're up only 4 because Notre Dame handled the last 2 minutes better.
Well, let's find out how Mike Bray feels. Moments ago, he visited with Allison Williams.
Coach Bray, what did you see as far as your team's ability to close out that half?
Well, that really helped us because we were struggling. We got into a better offensive rhythm. Our ball screen stuff in the middle of the floor really helped. But we're going to have to guard better to win this thing.
Yeah, what do you need to do better defensively? You knew stops would be tough to come by.
Yeah, I think just sticking to our principles. We went under some ball screens. I think we could get some charges on drives. We're going to have to block out because they got guys flying to the backboard. But I do like that we started scoring because we're going to have to score.
Mike, thank you.
Thanks.
That's the first thing Mike Bray told us when we visited with him before the game. He said that for them to win, he feels they'll probably have to get up into the 80s because Duke, he feels, is such a gifted offensive team. Beacham for 3. And Tatum just soars for the rebound.
Jason Tatum is ridiculously talented.
Every now and again, a guy comes along, and usually it's a freshman, and you can see their development and their improvement week by week, game by game. Tatum is riding one of those waves right now.
I don't think that wave's going to break.
No, I think you're right. Another rebound for Colson.
Notre Dame doing a pretty good job of staying in front of Duke. This is a tough team to stay in front of. Nice curl.
Pfluger gets inside, and the Irish are back within 2 in a game in which they have never led.
Excellent job of by Notre Dame of spreading the floor and lifting the Duke defense. And they got Duke trailing in a great cut by Rex Pfluger.
Right now, Vastoria trying to guard Tatum. Tatum didn't like how physical Vastoria got with him down on the post. He'll try to drive him. And Notre Dame beats them down with a rebound. They've got a chance to tie or take their first lead of the night.
That was great defense by Steve Vastoria. Chest to chest, took away the drive and forced him to take a tough shot.
Wow, what a lay-in by Farrell. Looked like he was looking to dish. Didn't have anybody, and at the last second, spun it up off the glass.
The English on that shot with the high ball screen and roll, a little bit of a hesitation. How did that ball go in? Just flicked it up with the left hand, and I don't think Matt Farrell ever saw that thing go in.
It hit the glass below the rim.
Yeah, and it looked like it hit the rim below the rim and climbed over.
Third on Jackson. Frustrated as he goes to the bench. Grayson Allen back in. Missed free throw, so it's tied.
That was a fabulous hesitation move by Matt Farrell.
One of the most improved players in the country this year.
Rex Pfluger has got the size and strength to stay with Luke Kennard. Off on a switch now.
Allen misses the three. Boy, he's working hard to try to save it. Now Ted Valentine says it's Notre Dame ball. Mike Eads over to confer with him. Did a Notre Dame player deflect it after the tap by Allen? Roger Ayers over as well, and they're going to give it to Duke. Mike Bray says what?
Grayson Allen saves the ball here.
Did it hit Farrell?
It must have.
Yeah.
That's the only person it could have hit.
Yeah, so Mike Eads must have seen it change direction after it hit Farrell, and it'll be Duke ball. Tatum drives and turns it over to Notre Dame.
But Bonzie Colson looked like he was going to have difficulty in dealing with that Jason Tatum drive, but his length was able to get a hand on that ball below his shoulders and knock it away. That was a great play.
So here are the Irish when it felt they were on their heels a few times in the first half, not shooting the ball well, and they've got a chance to take their first lead of the night. Colson no, Tatum another rebound.
Boy, Tatum is such a good defensive rebounder. Notre Dame screened Bonzie Colson into the low post so he could get into the post and isolate it on the move.
Kennard behind the back, driving layup with the right hand.
Got every move in the book, doesn't he?
Shoots left-handed, plays quarterback, played quarterback right-handed. And a terrific drive there to put Duke back on top by 2. Vastoria kept the dribble alive somehow, found Pfluger, and the Irish have their first lead of the game.
Not only did Steve Vastoria keep his dribble, he never changed expression.
I don't think he's changed expression in 4 years.
It's like it happens all the time for him.
Allen to Jefferson, Duke back on top.
And Notre Dame in the second half, tough to keep Duke out of the lane.
What a great pass from Farrell to Beacham.
Now the game's starting to have a little verve, getting up and down the floor. The first 20 minutes is like the teams are feeling each other out. And you mentioned a prize fight. Now they're starting to throw some punches.
A steal by Colson. And he will lay it in to extend the lead to 3. Irish fans are the minority here compared to Duke fans, but they are making their presence felt right now.
Duke has not turned the ball over much, but every time Duke's turned the ball over, Notre Dame has scored.
Meanwhile, Allen turned the corner, no help defense for the Irish, and he had an uncontested layup.
You're going to have to score to win this game. This isn't all about stops and defense. It's going to be a lot about continuing to make shots and run good offense.
Jefferson called for the foul. That'll be the 3rd on Emil Jefferson.
Steve Vastoria on the left side of the floor goes down, slips, doesn't lose his dribble, never changes expression, finds the sophomore from Dana Point, and then the steal by Bonzie Colson. Just daring somebody to block.
This game, it'll be Oregon without Chris Boucher. Unfortunately for him and the Ducks, out for the season after suffering a knee injury. Oregon and Arizona. Remember, Oregon blew out Arizona during a regular season game. Arizona playing really well without Alonzo Trier for about the first half of the season. Once he came back, kind of took them to another level. They're a very, very dangerous team right now.
Well, and all of Arizona's freshmen have gotten older and much better. Raleigh Alkins is a force now. And Kobe Simmons, a really good player, a great athlete. And Lauri Markkanen, one of the best players, not just best freshman in the country, he had 29 points in the semifinal win over UCLA and was darn near unstoppable. But Dan, how about in this game? Notre Dame up 45-44, and the Irish have only committed 7 fouls in this game. Duke shot 6 free throws, and it's just an example that if you play good defense without fouling, make the other team take tough shots, and don't put them on the line, you're going to give yourself an opportunity to win.
That ball is saved, but Pfluger's got it, and the Irish will get another possession out of it.
What a play by Pfluger.
Farrell misses the 3. Duke ball. Duke led the entire first half. Notre Dame just took their first lead about a minute and a half ago as Kennard with a soft touch to put Duke back on top.
But Notre Dame is making Duke take tough twos. That was a difficult shot and a great move. But Duke is not getting a lot of open threes. Notre Dame making them finish their drives rather than kick it out to open shooters by overhelping.
The Irish try to win the ACC Tournament Championship for the second time in 3 years. Duke trying to win it for the first time since 2011 as it's out of bounds off Notre Dame. So it'll be Duke ball as Bonzie Colson got a 52-second rest. Timeout came at 15:53. He's back in there at 15:01. Obviously got more rest in actual time, and that's about what you're going to see with the guys like Colson and Tatum and Kennard on the other side. First turnover in 15 minutes of game action committed by Notre Dame right there.
Colson a little bit fresher, but also he's only got 1 foul in the game.
Battle for the rebound. It's out of bounds to the Irish.
We'll see if Notre Dame decides to use Bonzie Colson, put him in some ball screen situations, make Harry Giles guard a ball screen.
And there it is right there. And Colson gets down the lane again on the pick and roll. Boy, they've run that a couple of times beautifully tonight.
Well, Mike Brey just picking on the freshman, Harry Giles, with a guy in Bonzie Colson that can not only set a wide screen, but can either pop off it or roll hard to the basket. That was a hard roll and an easy layup.
Tatum driving on Matt Ryan and a foul.
Matt Farrell using that high ball screen, and Grayson Allen just not up on him after the screen by Colson and not able to get a lot of pressure on the ball. He was able to split those 2 Duke defenders for the pass right down the gut to get it to Bonzie Colson. Just really well done by Notre Dame.
Grayson Allen misses the 3.
If Notre Dame goes right back to that.
Pfluger will handle.
I think if you can have some success at that, do it again. Here it comes.
And there he goes, and this time Giles stays with him.
He slipped it.
This time he'll pop. Will he take the shot? Might have had a toe on the line. I think he did. It's a long 2 for Bonzie Colson.
Got the switch. Grayson Allen on him, and Allen dared him to shoot it. Colson took him up on it.
At 6'5", he's something else, isn't he? Allen tries to go by him. Sweet feet inside. Giles lost it on the way up and then committed a foul. So Giles a little frustrated. The pick and roll. He missed a rebound opportunity. Missed a shot. Grabs a Notre Dame player. Tough couple of minutes for Giles.
Just lost it on the way up. I think he was about to do some damage throwing that thing down, and then a little frustration foul after he lost it. Harry Giles has been playing so well. It's got to be frustrating when he had the ball so easily under the basket to bobble it. Those kind of things happen.
Jefferson back in for Giles. Notre Dame down by as many as 9 in the first half. Up by 3 right now.
Got a switch now. Allen guarding Colson, trying to front him.
And they get it into Colson. They're going to try. And they succeed.
But how do you stop him? You switch, they take advantage of the switch. That's a smart basketball team. A lot of teams in college can't take advantage of switches.
And now Farrell steps in and takes a charge.
And Mike Bray told Allison Williams about the offensive rhythm that he liked for his team the last couple of minutes. He really likes this offensive rhythm because his team is picking apart matchups and they're going to their big guy, Bonzi Colson, at every opportunity. And Colson is delivering. Then on the other end, Matt Farrell taking the charge on Grayson Allen. Notre Dame in their green uniforms. Looking pretty good. Standing from the opening tip, but especially here in the second half, he's been very difficult for Duke to guard. Mike Bray has put him in ball screen situations where he can isolate his defender. If you help out, Colson is going to roll to the basket. He's used his length and his athleticism to get a steal. Then he has a mismatch inside. He's going to take advantage of it. 23 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals for Bonzi Colson.
Tried to save the errant pass. Then he comes up with a steal, and he's going to get himself another bucket. Oh, except he missed it, but Beacham is there to follow it.
Well, there was a lot of contact on that play, but what an alert play by Bonzi Colson, just coming off his highlight package, making another one. Wow.
Duke fans booing the no call. Tatum inside, and a much-needed bucket for Duke.
Great curl. And a strong move to the basket. Duke now with a little 2-2-1 3/4 court pressure, trying to change the rhythm of this game.
Mike Bray has talked about some of the older players on his team. Vastoria, Beacham, Colson all played in this game 2 years ago in Greensboro when they won the ACC tournament, and very confident in his team's ability to stay within them. Most of the night they've got the lead here in the second half, up 5 on Duke. What has been Notre Dame's advantage?
Well, Notre Dame does not foul, and so they've not put Duke at the free throw line, and they don't turn the ball over. They've got a +6 turnover margin, 10-4, and they're +7 on the offensive glass. That means they've had 12 more field goal attempts than Duke has had, and that's led to 2 more field goals made. And that's really the difference in the game. The amount of shots that Notre Dame is getting at the basket. You know, Duke is shooting a better percentage, 54% to Notre Dame's 45%. But the number of extra shot opportunities that Notre Dame's getting, that's the difference in the game. It's so smart of Notre Dame and so disciplined to play defense without fouling.
And they turn it over again, the Blue Devils do. Farrell's got a trailer. Beacham's got a dunk.
Well, that is 20-2 in points off turnovers. Not all of them have been for layups, but Notre Dame's been very, very efficient.
And they turn it over again. Duke in disarray offensively right now.
Notre Dame just keeps plugging. They keep coming at you. And really an alert play by V.J. Beacham to toss it ahead. He keeps running the floor. And a nice pass back by Matt Farrell for a dunk by the athletic and long Beacham.
Beacham twice has run the floor and twice has been rewarded with a dunk in the last minute or so. Vastoria turns it over.
Great play by Matt Jones. 2 or 3 times Matt Jones on drives by Notre Dame has been able to knock that ball away. Once against Colson and once against Vastoria.
Jackson to Jefferson. Spins into some traffic and finishes anyways.
Boy, what a nice move. Matt Farrell was right there sitting on that spin back that Emil Jefferson likes. Once he gets into the middle, oftentimes he will spin back. But he was strong with the ball, went right through the contact and was able not only to get the foul on Farrell. That was a really alert play by Matt Farrell. But to go through that contact and finish the play.
Colson, another rebound, is 8th.
Well, there is a long way to go. Almost 11 minutes to go in regulation. And Notre Dame's got to continue to be smart on the offensive end and get good shots. They've got to keep scoring. You can't rely on shutting Duke down. Duke's going to score.
Farrell from deep in the corner. And here come the Blue Devils. They trailed by double digits in the quarters and in the semis. Came back to beat Louisville in the quarters, came back to beat Carolina last night in the semis. Can they do it again and become the first team in ACC history to win 4 games in 4 days to win this tournament?
I didn't think it was possible, especially in the top half of the bracket. It's been a remarkable run by this Duke team.
Notre Dame ball.
Roger Ayers saying it went off of Luke Kennard. Here's the 2-2-1 3/4 court pressure. And Notre Dame's used to playing at different tempos. They can play fast, but they do a really good job of playing at a slower tempo too.
Nice pass. And another one. And it winds up with Beecham missing a 3 and the ball down to Kennard. Jefferson deep position, finishes.
And Duke is going to have to continue to look to get the ball down court quickly. If you can score quickly, you're not going to have to grind it out against Notre Dame's half-court defense.
Mike Bray wants a timeout. Got a good one going with the ACC championship on the line tonight here in Brooklyn.
It is a 30-second timeout.
We're led to believe each individual point is worth the same amount, regardless of when it's scored. Layups are always worth 2 points, theoretically. But fans know that's not the case, because here, in the last minute, everything counts for just a little bit more. Under 30 seconds, 3-pointers tend to feel like 5. As for buzzer beaters, they're worth the whole shebang.
Notre Dame with a 4-point lead on Duke, 56-52, 9:25 to go here in the championship game. Let's take a look at our tournament challenge resume, brought to you by Acura, and so much discussion really all season long for so many different reasons about the Duke Blue Devils. Right now, our bracketologist Joe Lenardi has them projected as a 2 seed. They've got a ton of quality wins, a lot of road wins. Right now, do you see them as a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament?
I have them as a 2 seed, but I think they're in the discussion for a 1 if they were to win this game.
At whose expense? At the 4 who are in there now?
Well, I think
Colson again.
It could be at Gonzaga's expense. It doesn't necessarily have to be North Carolina's. That's the obvious one because they're both ACC teams. You know, Duke has won 7 games against the RPI top 25. They've won 12 games against the RPI top 50. That's more than anybody, and that's not even taking into account injuries. And you know, Duke's lost 43 games to injury by players, 50 if you count Coach K being out.
Kennard into the corner. Jackson got it.
Oh, how clutch has Frank Jackson been, not only in this tournament, but toward the end of the season.
Well, let me ask you the same question about Notre Dame. Where do you see them in terms of the seed based on tonight's result?
Well, I see them as a 4 or 3 seed, but probably a 4. Yeah, I've had Notre Dame as a top 20 team all season long.
Farrell. Beecham. Duke ball, and Colson down and injured. Bonzie Colson just now getting up, caught behind the play. And the whistle blew. Normally when this happens, you don't see the whistle blow until the team with the injured player gets the ball.
I don't know whether it was because play had slowed down, but that's unusual.
Very.
And Mike Krzyzewski not making a big deal out of it at all. In fact, told his team, don't say anything, don't worry about it. Just turn that ankle as he was coming down after going after that rebound, and it was a 5-on-4 game in Duke's favor.
Well, needless to say, a significant loss for the Irish if Colson is not able to return very soon. Give and go won't work, and Austin Torres, who's going to have to play some big minutes right now for Notre Dame, down with the rebound. Colson getting some attention on the Notre Dame bench. He has been the dominant player in this game with 26 points and 8 rebounds, but he rolled his ankle. Ryan for 3. Vastoria kept it alive.
Knocked out by Tatum.
And we'll have a timeout on the floor. Bonzie Colson injured. And evidently, we are told, currently headed to the locker room here in Brooklyn right now after rolling his right ankle.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life. With the right guidance, everyone can be good at life.
The markets can be very unpredictable. New York Life
tunnel. Must have jogged up and down a couple of times. Ran right back out onto the court. Told Mike Bray he was okay. Got the go-ahead to check back into the game, and he's back in there for the Irish. Allison's got more.
He went back into the hallway off the court just so he had some space and some room to run and test out that ankle. But when he came back out, you're right, he charged right into that huddle and told Coach Bray and his teammates, hey, I am fine, I'm fine. And he was jumping around a little bit to make sure that ankle was good.
All right, Allison, thank you. Vastoria gets a good look, misses the 3, and it's down to the Blue Devils.
Well, Notre Dame's getting some open shots, just not able to knock them down.
Tatum over Vastoria, just too big and strong, and it's a 1-point game.
But he had to shoot over Steve Vastoria because he was right there chest to chest and made him shoot over without fouling him.
And you've made the point. Notre Dame's always been known in recent years anyways as a great offensive team, not necessarily a great defensive team, but Vastoria, Pfluger, there's better defense, better toughness, much better defense and toughness on this team than some of the past teams.
And really smart to be able to defend well without fouling.
Blocked from behind by Jefferson.
What a game Emil Jefferson has had. Jefferson has 12 points, 4 rebounds. That is his 3rd block in this game. He is 6 of 7 from the field. And he's gone toe-to-toe with Bonzie Colson.
5 on the shot clock. Beecham. Duke ball with a chance to retake the lead. Kennard behind the back twice and picks it off to Jones.
Pretty good handle, huh? In traffic.
Well, good matchups. Pfluger on Kennard.
And then Beecham on Tatum.
Jefferson was open for a moment. Colson recovers. Jefferson trying to back him down, and he will.
Just gave a little move toward the middle. Bonzie Colson bit on it. Jefferson has been great. A difference maker.
He has led an 11-2 run for the Blue Devils that has them back on top. Farrell. Notre Dame has the lead.
Gutsy. What a gutsy player Matt Farrell is. Well, to think before the season, the big question was, does Notre Dame have a point guard? They don't. They have an outstanding point guard.
Well, didn't make his first start until the NCAA tournament last year, right? And it happened in this building, and he's just getting better and better.
Not sure whether we've got a contact lens or a cut or whatever.
Astoria racing over to the Notre Dame bench to get it cleaned up.
In this type of situation, the player doesn't have to leave the game. It can be taken care of and then just start right back up.
Jefferson every now and again reaching for his right arm. He was grabbing his shoulder a couple of minutes ago. Duke with the ball down by 1.
Well, it wouldn't be this season if some of the Duke players weren't playing without pain or injury.
Frank Jackson puts Duke back on top.
So many good ball handlers on the floor for both teams, but especially for Notre Dame. Notre Dame does not turn the ball over.
Pfluger might have had a better look at the 3 than the shot he got off from 2.
Just a tough shot, and Mike Bray telling him, just take it all the way. You don't need to settle for the jumper. Take it all the way to the rim.
Kennard stops on a dime. Duke by 3.
Well, how do you stop that? You're going full speed to stop the drive, and he just puts the brakes on and goes straight up. That was beautiful.
And a really nice response from the Blue Devils after Notre Dame took the lead. They're used to coming from behind in this tournament as Farrell is fouled before the shot. No basket.
And Luke Kennard with the right-hand drive into the lane, and Pfluger going full speed, and Kennard just puts the brakes on and goes straight up, and Pfluger just over pursued. His momentum just took him right past. Couldn't stop.
Astoria.
Well, what a difference in the way that Emil Jefferson guards that ball screen action that Harry Giles did.
Making Colson work really hard. Beecham can't finish the layup, keeps it alive, and it'll belong to Notre Dame. Beecham's made some really nice, important plays that don't show up on the score sheet, keeping some balls alive and just making things happen.
He's been very active.
Foul by Tatum.
I think that's foul number 7.
3 on Tatum.
Well, that puts him on the free throw line. And Notre Dame's only got 2 team fouls, so they can be more aggressive on their end without worrying about putting Duke on the line.
And Notre Dame is the best free throw shooting team in the nation, 80% as a team. Tomorrow, 3:15, it's the Frontier Communications American Championship. A couple of good teams, SMU and Cincinnati, coming your way. The SEC Championship precedes that at 1 o'clock Eastern. This is the ACC Tournament Championship, and it is living up to expectations. A 1-point game with just over 4 minutes to go.
Notre Dame went to a 1-2-2 3-quarter court press, now back in a little 3-2 or 1-2-2 zone. The odd man front. They played this earlier in the first half, but it's been mostly man. Just give a little bit of a different look to Duke.
Tatum in the middle of it, kicks it out to Kennard. Around and out, and the rebound down to Colson. The 3-seed Notre Dame, the 5-seed Duke in the championship game.
They'll be guarded by the freshman.
Cross-court look, Pfluger. Back to Farrell, 5 to shoot. Deep one.
Little bit short. You wonder about both teams' legs as we head into the last 3 minutes of regulation.
Mike Krzyzewski will use a timeout. 2 really good basketball teams here in Brooklyn in a 1-point lead for Duke in the ACC Tournament Championship. And still to come tonight, Lauri Markkanen and Arizona taking on the Oregon Ducks for the Pac-12 title. The Irish, a 1-point lead for Duke with 3:14 to go. Duke trying to do something that nobody has ever done in the ACC tournament. That is win 4 games in 4 days to win the championship. A number of teams have made it to the final, but have not been able to win the final, having played 4 games in 4 days.
Notre Dame can be aggressive. Only 2 team fouls.
Amazing. Only 2 fouls this half. Only 5 turnovers in the game committed by Notre Dame, but they're down a point. They're down 3. Tatum now with 13.
Well, what a drive by Jason Tatum, just shooting right over Steve Astoria. Astoria just stayed in front, but Tatum's so long and athletic. Notre Dame has settled for some jump shots. They've had some open looks. Let's see if they can get something going toward the basket, especially to Colson.
Colson for 3. Wow. Tie game.
Emil Jefferson had to help out on the drive, and instead of rolling to the basket, Colson went right to the 3-point line. What a big play, because Jefferson has done a great job on Bonzie Colson in the last probably 6 or 7 minutes. Now back to the zone. The middle is open. Jason Tatum.
There it is. And he draws the foul.
Well, what a luxury to have a playmaker in the middle like Jason Tatum.
I think he lost his contact. Looks like Colson has an issue with a contact lens right now.
Jason Tatum at the line for 2.
Colson took one right in the chest as he went up. Is his foul, but you see just picking up that contact lens. Looked like it was in his left eye.
Well, if rolling his ankle isn't going to get him out of the game, the contact lens is surely not going to get him out of the game tonight. 29 points, 9 rebounds. He's made a couple of threes.
Every good trainer has a compact. Never know when you're going to have to redo your makeup during the course of a game. This never happened to Kurt Rambis. How good has Bonzi Colson been tonight? Colson's 12 of 21. The rest of his team 14 of 42.
His accuracy has been a little bit better with his shooting than with his contact lens, though, so far tonight. Look at that. Things you don't expect to see at a basketball game. Tied at 65, 2:02 to go. And Jason Tatum at the line for a couple for Duke.
In the game against North Carolina, we talked about the importance of the lines, the three-point line and the free throw line. And Notre Dame really has been essentially winning both lines in this game. They're 2 up in the three-point line, and they've won the battle of the free throw line. It's not been a huge battle, but they've kept Duke off the line, where Duke shot 68 free throws in the last 2 games coming into this one. And they've shot 9 in this game. What a difference.
Astoria. Tatum came over to help and got a piece of it.
Everybody came to the ball. What a play by Tatum.
And once he gets going, good luck trying to stop him.
It's pretty darn good for a freshman playing in his 4th game in 4 days.
The lead back to 3 for Duke in just 1:20 to go now. Farrell fouled by Jackson.
Jason Tatum making a fabulous defensive play and then turning that defense into offense, taking it himself. Nobody picks up and stops the ball. Gets it all the way to the rim. Talk about 94 feet with Jason Tatum. Pretty strong.
Well, what an array of skills he has. 2 huge free throws here for Matt Farrell, who is an 81% free throw shooter. A lot of fans standing here, a lot of yelling and cheering in the seats, and the 10 players on the court look like the 10 calmest people in the building right now.
Can Notre Dame get a stop?
Tatum guarded by Vastoria. 10 on the shot clock. The switch. The kick to Jones. Matt Jones for 3. A guy who has really struggled with his shot over the last couple of weeks knocks down an enormous three-pointer for Duke. Good cut by Beecham, and it's a 2-point game.
Matt Jones, in his last 5 ball games coming into this one, was 2 of 17 from three-point range. But with the game on the line, the shot clock down around 5, takes the kick and knocks down the three with Matt Farrell closing out. What a huge shot for the senior from DeSoto, Texas. And much like Notre Dame has done all year long, they've got an answer. Really good drive by Matt Farrell and keeping his dribble and dribbling out of the lane, and just a terrific cut by V.J. Beacham.
7th assist of the night for Farrell. So Duke's got the ball. Duke's got a 2-point lead. Duke's got the arrow with 32 seconds to go.
And Notre Dame can be aggressive because they've only got 3 team fouls, so they can go for steals. It's incumbent upon Duke to be strong with the ball. And I don't think Notre Dame wants to foul right away, but you want to go after the ball without, you don't have to be too concerned about fouling. Go after the ball without worrying about fouls.
And there's a foul, 4th committed this half by Notre Dame, so they can still do it twice more before they put Duke on the line. But as you say, the object is to go for a steal. If you foul, you foul, but go for the ball.
Go for the ball.
Yeah.
We'll get a quick trap. See if you can get Duke to turn it over.
Going for the home run ball to Tatum. Count the bucket and a foul.
Boy, what a smart play. Not only the bucket, but the foul. Vastoria trying to stop Jason Tatum. Can't do it. That's a terrific cut.
Tatum has had big moment after big moment here in his first ACC tournament. He's up to 18 points tonight. Make it 19. He has scored 88 points over the last 4 days here in Brooklyn.
Well, you can go a number of different ways for Duke's MVP in this tournament, but no one's played better than Jason Tatum.
Irish need a score, and they need it quickly. Going to be Duke ball. The Irish will have to pressure and go for an immediate steal again if they can. They don't, so there's a foul, and that's number 6. So the next one would put Duke on the line if it comes to that. Duke 15 seconds away from winning 4 games in 4 days and winning the ACC tournament.
And so many different players contributed at a high level. You know, the play of Emil Jefferson in this one, the defense that he played on Bonzie Colson, the way he did a good job in the post, scoring one-on-one in the post. And then that 3 that Matt Jones knocked down was absolutely huge.
I mean, you talk about an unlikely candidate to take that shot, given how things have been going for him the last couple of weeks. But a senior hoping to win his first ACC tournament championship. Last one for Duke was back in 2011. And for Mike Krzyzewski, this would be his 14th ACC tournament championship. That would break a tie that he currently holds with Dean Smith at 13.
The amazing thing in the top half of this bracket, to win 4 games in 4 days is absolutely remarkable.
Pfluger misses the long 3. Vastoria will miss one. And the Duke Blue Devils become the first team in ACC history to win 4 games in 4 days and win this tournament. And they had to come from behind in the second half against Louisville in the quarters, against Carolina in the semis, and against Notre Dame here tonight in the final. Two really good basketball teams. A valiant effort by Bonzie Colson, among others, for the Irish tonight. But it's Duke, and if you like teams who are peaking at the right time, Duke certainly appears to be peaking at the right time.
Well, it's a team that is now healthy and in a great rhythm. And how about the growth of Jason Tatum as not just a star, but a superstar in college basketball as we head toward the NCAA tournament.
The Blue Devils made 8 of their last 9 field goal attempts. And they'll go into the tournament obviously as a very high seed. Whether it's a 2, could be a 1, who knows. Most people think it's a 2, but tonight was about winning a championship. And the Duke Blue Devils will raise a banner as they are the 2017 ACC tournament champions. Grayson Allen with big games in the quarters and the semis. Tatum, tremendous throughout. Kennard, tremendous throughout.